Welcome back, viewers. Today we will be testing the Attrition Scalper indicator. But before we do, if you have not watched our first video and the videos after that, you need to go do that now. At the Academy of Forex, we are building the best trading system possible as a team. And as a team, we will all profit from it when we are done. You can find a link to the first video down below. You can also find a link to sign up for TradingView down below. If you use the link below, you will save a little bit of money. You can also find a link below to join us on Discord. Discord is a free group communication platform. On our Discord server, we are having great conversations about all things regarding trading. One of the biggest struggles on this channel is people who use other platforms like MT4 being able to follow along. Sometimes it can be hard to find the indicators we are using on other platforms. And so on our Discord server, I have created a channel for indicator creation. And on that channel, I pinned links to freelancers who can code indicators for MT or for TradingView. So if you don't want to create a TradingView account, you can hire a freelancer for a really small fee and have them code an indicator for the MT platform. Or if you are on TradingView and need an indicator created, something unique or an indicator for a system you have developed, you can also have them code PineScript. So use the link for either MT4 coding or use the link for PineScript. Lastly, I get a lot of people that are asking me for the entire list of all the winning indicators that we have tested to date. And whereas I am not a big proponent of gatekeeping information, I've put a lot of time and effort into creating the content on my YouTube channel. And so I don't think it is too much to ask for the viewers to go through and view the content that I've spent a lot of time creating. Now, if you are not interested in supporting our channel by going back and watching the content that I have created, then I have developed a solution for you. I've created a Patreon account. I will put a link to it down below in the description. If you sign up for Patreon and you sign up for the $9 a month account, I will send you the full list of tested and winning indicators to date. I will also send you an updated list of the indicators that we are testing at the end of each week. Now, of course, you have to stay subscribed to the $9 monthly subscription, to continue to receive the updated list of indicators. But that way it will provide me with the support that I need to continue to provide the free content that I am putting out for everybody to view. Now, if you just love the channel in general and want to support us, then there is also a lower, I think $3 Patreon subscription that you can sign up for that will also help support the channel and keep things going, so that way I can continue to produce the content and the open information that we are creating here in this channel and in our Discord server. Again, if you have not signed up for our Discord, then you need to do that as well. It is a absolutely free platform where we have real-time ability to chat and have conversations about trading. And again, if you want to support the channel with Patreon, then you can find the link down below in the description. Alright, as I said, today we will be testing the Attrition Scalper indicator. But before we do, I wanted to put the indicator scoreboard up for everyone to see. So to date, we have tested 195 indicators. And out of those 195 indicators, 78 of them have been winners, which means that they have met or exceeded the 60% win-loss ratio threshold that we have set for them. The best ones so far were able to achieve a 100% win rate. Now you need to go back and watch those videos to understand the context of how they were able to achieve that. But as we are working on building the best trading system possible, you could take any one of those 78 indicators and get out there and start potentially profitably trading the markets with them now. So go back and watch those videos, make a list of those indicators, and get out there and see what you can do with them. But stick with us here as we work on maximizing your trading profits. Alright, so today's indicator is the Attrition Scalper indicator. It appears that this is version 1, or I guess it's version 1.3. The creator only had this one indicator listed underneath their profile. So I don't see any other versions of this one, so maybe this is just version 1, or maybe they took down the other ones and just published the newest ones. Either way, you can see it here on screen. There is quite a bit going on with this indicator. The name actually comes from the name of the creator. Their TradingView username is Attrition, and so it is a scalping indicator. And so technically it is meant to be used on a lower time frame. The creator does say that it is meant to be used on a lower time frame, although it can be used on higher time frames. It's just tweaking things just slightly, basically, to allow it to be used on the higher time frames. Now I found that making the small tweaks don't seem to really have a significant difference in the indicator at all. And so let's take a look at, let's see here. So the settings, the creator recommends that you go in here and you change it from a lower time frame to whatever time frame you are planning on using. And so in this particular case, we will change it to same. Let's see if it, yeah. And so same as symbol. Now, if you are watching, really the only thing, if I go in and turn off a whole bunch of this stuff, it is this line right here that changes when you change, yeah, there it goes. When you change what time frame the indicator is using. So you can put it on 1 day, or you put it same as symbol, and the symbol is on a 1 day, and so it changes it to this. Doesn't seem to change anything else. I thought maybe this also would need adjusted, but this doesn't seem to do anything to the indicator at all. So if we go back in, turn back on all these different components, then we jump back over here to input and we change it, say, to 1, nothing seems to happen. If we change it to 500, nothing seems to happen. And so it appears that that doesn't have a bearing on any component of the indicator. So we're just going to leave it on the default setting as it is. We changed the long-term time frame, or the long-term line time frame, but that really, again, only seemed to change that one line. It doesn't seem to have a bearing, oddly enough, on these buy and sell labels here. Now, we could go through and look in a little bit more detail of what exactly, this indicator, all the different components, and there are quite a few, and the user does explain that the buy and sell labels here are good to follow, but you don't have to follow those. You can use other pieces of the indicator, in itself. Of course, the background color, it is playing off of the buy and sell area, and so if we just kind of went in randomly, I'm not going to set them to the same, as ultimately turn them off, but you can see as I do this, what it is doing is it is following, and it's funny because it has those other colors, but you don't ever see them. It's basically just following the buy and sell label. So when it has a green buy, this green background comes on. When it has a red sell, the red background comes on. And so really, we don't need the background to be in place. Now, if we start again looking at other pieces of this, there's this RSI support and resistance high and low, and you can see it. If we went in and turned off some of the other pieces of this, then it makes it a little bit easier to see that we have this RSI support and resistance high and low. And so each component, the creator says that each component of this can be used as significant levels of support and resistance. And so, keep that in mind. Use it as you see fit. You can dissect this and use, different pieces, or kind of develop your own strategy around it. But it does seem to work, rather well as far as the RSI support and resistance pieces. Of course, that is based around the relative strength index, the RSI. Obviously, most people understand what the RSI is. Then you have these bands here, and they appear to be Fibonacci levels. Fibonacci levels that are constantly, following price action at their respected levels, the fib levels that they represent. And so they create almost like a Bollinger Band, or a channel type indicator in themselves, that is again created by Fibonacci levels. And so those can be levels of support and resistance. You can see that, price tends to, kind of respect them somewhat. Then you have, definitely like these outer bands here, again, Fibonacci levels. You can see price action comes up and hits it there, rejects it, comes up and hits it here, rejects it. I don't know if we have any instances. It doesn't happen very often, but it comes up, hits there, kind of rejects it. And so definitely not a sound strategy by itself, but you can see that they play a role as far as support and resistance areas. And then you have these different levels of kind of oscillating support and resistance lines that it creates. The vidya +3, the standard vidya, the vidya -3, and then there was the long term, which is what we changed a minute ago, changing time frames. But if we look at just the kind of the vidya, I believe I'm saying that correctly, the vidya lines here, you can see that they act kind of similar to moving averages. I believe what they are doing is one is following maybe the upper parts. I mean, I'm not really sure. I haven't dug into the code, but it says +3 and -3, and then standard. So it appears that one is like well, I guess it would be a slow version, a fast version, and maybe one that is following price action, kind of similar to a moving average, possibly. And so this is something that you could possibly trade as a moving average, maybe like an alligator type setup, to where you know, all three of these have to kind of converge together, and you know, like an alligator start to fan out. That might be a you know, a signal to go one way or the other. And so you could play with those. And then again, lastly, you have the long term here, and it seems to, you know, change colors according to a downtrend, uptrend. What exactly calculation it is playing off of, I'm not really sure, and so that could also be a component you could play with. And so really what we are concerned with at this moment, again, the creator says that there are all kinds of different ways that you can play or modify and use the different components of this indicator to develop support and resistance areas. And they even go as far as to say that you need to develop a completely separate support and resistance strategy that would go with this as well and kind of accompany this. But at the moment, what we are looking for are just these labels telling us when we should be going long, when we should go short. I feel like that is the best way to start to trade this. If we start digging into the different individual components, then it really starts to get subjective, and we really start to, you know, apply our own bias to how it should be used. I'm not saying that it can't be beneficial. I'm not saying that there aren't components or pieces of it that could be used, or different ways, different strategies that it could be kind of played with. But at the moment, I feel like anytime a creator, indicator creator, makes an indicator and stamps it with these buy and sell tags like this, or arrows that are you know, pointing down or up, green and red, I feel like those are the most obvious first choices for how this indicator should be traded and the signals that it's giving, I guess I should say. And so those are going to be always the ones that we test first. And if you viewers out there want to dig into it a little bit more beyond that, then you're welcome to throw it up on screen, play around with it some. I also will often play around with indicators on my own, not on video, and you know, see if something can come about of them. But at the moment, like I said, we're basically looking for these green buys are going to be long signals, and these red sell tags are going to be signals to go short. Not a whole lot to it other than that. So let's go ahead and play it forward here and see what we can get out of this indicator. Now, again, like I said, the creator of this indicator said that this is really geared towards lower time frame trading. So if you are one of those viewers out there who might be looking for something that is a little bit quicker, trading that's a little bit quicker, maybe you want to get into lower time frames, day trading, and stuff along those lines, you might throw this indicator up on screen and play around with it and see what you can get out of it. The daily version that we're testing right now, obviously, may be very different when you get down into lower time frames. You might actually be able to have something, very useful to trade in just kind of day trading, or even like hourly, 3 hour, kind of lower time frame swing type trades and so on. So keep that in mind. Again, play around with it, see what you can get out of it, and see if you can utilize it in any way. Couple signals here. It's like a couple decent little signals there. Seems to be doing all right at the moment. Just keep playing it forward here. See what all we can get. That one is still valid. So that one worked out for us. Not too bad. Just keep plugging along here. At first glance, it seemed like this one might not do too well, but honestly, you really don't know until you put an indicator on screen, you run it through some testing, and you see what it is capable of. Until then, you are honestly just making a blind guess. I've done it before myself. I've looked at indicators. I've thought to myself, this looks like a awesome indicator. This thing is going to really kill it. And then I get it on screen, I start playing around with it, and it gets just tore to pieces and does absolutely horrible. Then there are other indicators that I look at on screen, and at first glance I think to myself, this thing is going to be absolute garbage. There is no way that this thing is going to work out at all. And then once I start testing it and playing around with it, I get pleasantly surprised in that it proves me wrong, and I am able to swallow my pride and put another great indicator on my list of indicators that could do great things. So I definitely urge people, don't count your eggs before they are hatched. Make sure that you test an indicator. Don't just take other people's word for it. I mean, obviously, if you're testing it like I am, if they're testing it before your eyes, that's a little bit different. But often you will get people who don't even test an indicator. They have just heard from one person, who heard it from another person, who heard it from another person, who most likely never tested the indicator or didn't do it correctly, and they say, it's the worst indicator in history. And so it develops this kind of rumor of being a horrible indicator. But then when you actually dig down into it and take the time to properly test it, properly try to use it, and apply it properly to trading, turns out that it's a very good indicator. And so again, don't just take people's word for it. Test them yourself, and that's part of the reason why I test every single indicator, regardless of what we've heard about them, what other channels have said about them, how they have labeled them. I'm not going to take their word for it until I put it on screen, play with it myself, tweak it, try it, and just really do my best to make it work. And if it doesn't work after that, then so be it. It is what it is. But at least I know I tried. And again, often you will find that it may fit your personality, it may work for your type of trading, and it can actually be beneficial to what you're trying to accomplish. So, all right, we are at the end of the year. This is what we have here. Let's go ahead and add up all these trades and see what we can get out of it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Pretty simple setup there. We are looking for at least 6 winners, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 winners on the dot. So, all in all, didn't seem like a horrible indicator. Seemed like it was a little sporadic. You have some indicators that really you can tell they're catching those moments when price action roll over almost every single time, kind of very consistently. And then you get indicators like this that seem like they are really sporadic in catching moves. It also seemed like it was catching moves rather late, quite a long time after they had started. I mean, in both of these cases right here, the move was 50%, around 50% done by the time it actually called the signal to go in. Did the same thing over here with this short. This short was well into its move by the time it actually called it. And so that seems to be causing a little bit of issues because in some of these instances, we had just a short move and price action was, pulling back or reversing rather quickly. And right at that same time, it was calling the original move that took place. So it seems to be really laggy in its signals. That's one thing that I'm not too fond of at the moment. But it did win, met the criteria, and so it's definitely going to go on the yes list, and we will move on to the next indicator from here.
If you have not already, like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so that way you are notified anytime I post a new video. As part of the team, it's important that you are seeing the new videos as they come out so you know what it is that we are discussing and what indicators we are testing, have tested, and have not tested. Also, like usual, there is a link below in the description to the Discord server. You can join us on Discord so that way we can further discuss the indicators and have discussions as we move forward building our trading system. And lastly, like usual, there is a link below to TradingView. If you like what you see whenever I use TradingView, and you are interested in signing up for TradingView, if you use the link below and sign up for a paid account, you will save a little bit of money. So, all right, everybody, I will see you on the next video.